win.
Yeah.
Anyway, so to your point about Skip Bayless, basically these shows that are on every day, like First Take and Undisputed and Get Up to a certain extent, these shows have basically become cartoons. Like, these are basically, it's ridiculous. And it was highlighted this week by, this is the funniest thing we saw. So they did on, Rob Gronkowski, formerly of the Patriots and of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, tight end, played with Brady for most of his whole career, basically. He came out and said, listen, I'm retired. I'm not going to come back, blah, blah, blah. To which his agent, Drew Rosenhaus, said, listen, if Brady calls him, I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back. But anyway,
I thought that was hilarious.
So for the moment, and by the way, just to get off on this tangent, I thought Nick Wright had a really good take about this, where he's like, listen, if you announce your retirement and then you come back anyway, we tack an extra year onto you until you get to go in the Hall of Fame. So normally it's 5 years after your career to get to the Hall of Fame. If you say you're going to retire and then you come back anyway, it's 6 years for you then. Like, you have to wait an extra year to get into the Hall of Fame, because this is ridiculous. When guys used to say they retired, they retired. This wasn't. So I get it, but it's still fun. But anyway, so Gronkowski says he's retiring, and so they did on First Take. They did the top 5. Well, Chris Russo is on First Take once a week, which I read how much he's getting paid to be on there once a week, and it's like $10,000. It's ridiculous. Anyway, so they did Chris Russo's top 5 quarterback to tight end combinations. Okay? 5-1. So number 5 was Tom Brady to Rob Gronkowski, which, I'm just, you're thinking, your immediate thought is, when he's coming out with this, is, well, they've got to be, they're the most prolific tight end to quarterback combination of all time. So they've got to be 1 or 2, right? But no, they're 5th. Okay? And then he decides to reach back into history. Bart Starr to Max Kramer, okay, from the 1960s. Okay, and there were, they were talking about this on Le Batard show, so I got some information. They were saying that for 4 years, Bart Starr and Max Kramer did not connect for a touchdown. Like, they only had 32 catches in 7 years that they played together. Because in the 1960s, they didn't throw the ball that much, number one.
Yeah.
And number two, they certainly didn't throw to the tight end. There was really there was barely, the tight end position barely had been invented at that point.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 3, Kenny Stabler to Dave Casper. Okay.
Right.
So that's the 1970s one. So we're reaching back again, and they're having to, so it was really funny. They were making fun of this. They're having to go back and get this grainy video with NFL Films, from NFL Films. And of course it's John Facenda. The autumn wind is a river.
Yeah. The frozen tundra, Lambeau Field. Which is awesome, by the way.
You're right. Listen, NFL Films, I love it. I love John Facenda's voice. It's incredible. I wish they could bring it back for games now. Like, oh my God, if we had John Facenda calling the NBA Finals, it'd be epic. Epic. Anyway. And then number 2 was Johnny Unitas to Mackey. So again, they won the 1958 championship with those guys. And then they played mostly in the 60s. So and as you were saying, what was Stephen A's reaction to this?
Oh, see, it was hilarious. Stephen A is just like, and then I remember when he walks over to the board once he finishes, and he's like, "You got them number 5? What the hell are you doing?"
And suddenly, and by the way, no criticism to them. It's unbelievable television. Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless can sell it like nobody's business. They are the used car salesman of sports media. They're unbelievable. Okay?
Yeah.
They get onto a take that nobody else had or even thought about having, and they convince you that this is how it is. It's just, I honestly, I just have to bow down at their altar at this point. I can't. There's nothing I can say. I don't know what to tell you. The number 1 was Dan Fouts to Kellen Winslow, which honestly, they probably are on any top 5 list. Honestly.
Yeah.
But that
Well, I
was
think one
more.
of the problems with this is that you have to get two guys that were on the same team together for a while, and nowadays that's tough. Like I was thinking, who's the best tight end, and it's like, well, you could say Gronk, you could say Tony Gonzalez, but he played with a bunch of different quarterbacks, so it's hard for me to, Shannon Sharp and Elway you could probably put on there because they were together for a while,
Right.
But yeah, beyond that, it was kind of tough. I'm trying to think of great, unbelievable tight ends. Like there's ones that had good little runs here and there, but it's tough to.
But yeah, so on the Dan Le Batard show, they monitor this. I guess he's on. I think Chris Russo is on First Take every Wednesday, so they monitor everything he does because it's every week. It's something more insane. It's Bob Cousy was the greatest point guard of all time. Chris Paul is not a great player. It's fantastic. So anyway, yeah, that was one of the funniest things. I was laughing out loud, watching it because it's honestly like you can't even get upset about it because it's so insane. You can't get upset about it. It's like, it's literally like you can count on it. Whoever wins, Skip Bayless is going to hate on them. He's going to troll. He's going to say they're not good enough. He's going to, it's unreal. So, but that was the most entertaining thing this week.